Konnichiwa, everyone. This is Josuiji Shinri, Ronin of Guild Tempest from HoloLive English. It's good to see everyone here. Good morning, good morning. Konnichiwa. How is everyone doing today? Good morning. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Oh, Ichi, thank you, thank you. Thank you for using the fan art. I'll enjoy today's stream too. My English is really bad. No, your English is perfectly fine. Thank you so much for drawing it. Really appreciate it. And any chance I get to use fan art, I'll try to see if I can put it together. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Oh, chat. This, I had nightmares. Wait. Okay, yeah. I had nightmares last night and I didn't really get to sleep that well or like get enough rest because of a certain clown, I guess. So the way that the nightmare that I had was that I was stuck inside this small room, right? And the only like two things I could have, like imagine like a big wall, or like a small, it was like a small little room, 4 walls. The walls are made of cobblestone and you can like feel like they're like really big, like rocks, and you can feel the texture, just like how heavy and thick the walls were, right? But then like on 2 of the walls, like in front of you and behind you, there was like this little glass panel, but it was like a thick, tempered, I don't know, like soundproof or like sound dampening panel. And and the only way I could communicate with Bettel was by like doing a miming dance inside the room. So like it's a small little viewport, right? And then like he was looking into it and I was looking out, and I would have to like try to like mime the actions because I couldn't say anything. So I had to like mime the actions, and the entire time I could see Bettel just getting more and more confused, and he had no idea what was going on. And the worst part was, it was just like they're like I couldn't speak because like I didn't know, but like okay. Yeah, do you guys know those like the dreams where you have those moments where you're not really sure, like you haven't really figured that out yet, but you kind of know? It was like that. In my head, it was like, okay, I know I can't speak. I can't say anything to Bettel because he can't hear me, right? Like at no point in my dream did I ever test that theory or the hypothesis. I just kind of inherently knew that it doesn't matter how loud I scream, Bettel's not going to be able to hear me. It was like that, right? It's like, some part of me, like I assumed was like just like a little base of like premise, like a knowledge that you kind of have. Danta, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Not enough coffee, unfortunately. There isn't enough. But like it was one of those. So like I had like committed myself to knowing only the only form of communication there was through like interpretive dances with charades, yeah. So I don't know if that like carried through to like my physical body, but like in my mind, in my dreams, I like envisioned myself dancing for many hours. So when I woke up, I just felt absolutely exhausted. Oh my goodness, I woke up and it felt like possibly dead. Thank you for the super chat. That was one fear. Yeah. It was that. It was basically just, I woke up and I was like, I feel like I've run a marathon. I feel like I've climbed up mountains and like dove into depths. And just every part of my body was just so... It was just so tired. Oh my goodness. But yeah, unfortunately, I did not end up getting too much rest. You're dancing in a dream, you're dancing IRL, probably, right? Or the PST you got. You two really did great at the puzzles. Thank you. I don't even remember what it was I was trying to do. I was trying to get Bettel to like I was trying to direct him to go to a location and do a thing, which I realize is not very helpful because almost every single puzzle requires you to go to a location and then do a thing. So I don't really remember what it was I was trying to like interpretive dance at Bettel. I don't really remember, but like I just remember it was like I was like frustrated and struggling because it was not just the fact that I was trapped. Renee, thank you for the super chat. Precisely dispensed instructions to Bettel was amazing. Would have guided you in a burning plane to land a burning plane. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't know what it was though. I think it's a lot easier to convey like instruction and directions, or even just like verbally theory craft of solution, a potential way out, through words than it is with interpretive dancing. It's very difficult to establish a like a common point of reference. Like I was trying to find a common point of reference almost all the time. Every single time we encountered a new picture or a new puzzle in the game, and it's really difficult when you can't use your words. But also the type of person to get lost looking for the back of his own house. Thank you for the super chat. Nezra, thank you for the super chat. I took a gander. I was there watching Bettel's monetization stream with his like the candy that he was making. Oh, that was surprising. I'm impressed that he gets around, you know. After hearing about the type of food that he ate and like how he only prepared by like eating 18 18 Starbursts, I think. How they like absolutely a disaster. Ooh, thank you for the super chat. Muhammad? In silence, Bigfoot backroom stream idea. I don't know if we have permissions for those. I could take a look at those. I think wait. Isn't In Silence the one where the microphone gets picked up and like you can hear things? The monster can hear things. Good Mochi, thank you for the super chat. I think that would be hilarious to see Bettel do that. I want to hear Bettel go scream at the monster about that one. But where was I? Let's see. Oh yeah, the collab thing. Thank you for the super chat. Type of person to survive every plane crash he's been, but in every plane he has been every crash. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the super chat, Weed. Thank you. A confused Bettel scarier than a mannequin. I would agree. One of the big things that I wanted to point out, I saw a lot of comments last night. Like shortly after the stream, I just kind of like going through the comments in YouTube, going through the comments on Twitter, and just looking at the responses and the reactions to the stream. And I think, I don't know, I'm surprised that our dynamic worked out very well. I am... Okay, so let me tell you a little bit of some backstory, some little bit of context, okay? So leading up to debut, we actually like I think you guys are aware, like there is like a Discord that we have. Like we've been sharing some like screenshots of like silly, you know, out of context things every now and then. We do play a lot. Like we did play a lot of games early on when we didn't have much timing. We did like hop on to like Apex and just like play games and then like just have fun, just, you know, doing whatever, this and that, leading up to the debut, mostly because at the very beginning we didn't have that much to like work on. Like it was like a like a snowball. Thank you for the super chat, bestings. Thank you. It was one of those things where like a snowball rolling down a hill, right? It starts pretty small, but then like as responsibilities start to build up, you get busier and busier. But near the beginning, Bettel and I would hop into voice comms, and then we'd just kind of play Apex together, just play some games here and there, and then just have fun. And like, first of all, side note, that man is cracked. He's so good at Apex. Like, oh my goodness. He did mention that he is a bit of a one trick, and the fun part was he's like a super one trick at specifically the bow check. And we were surprised. We were just like joking about like how it would be funny if like in the Apex stream it ended up him being the one with the bow and then me being the one with, you know, everything else, like a shotgun. And then okay, so like my personal favorite gun is actually the Peacekeeper, and it became my favorite gun. Oh, Kenshi, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. My favorite gun is the Peacekeeper, and the reason why the Peacekeeper became my favorite gun was because I was absolutely bodied this one time in arenas with one person. I think it was like a Pathfinder with the Peacekeeper, but like he two-shot me every single time, right? And it was like unbelievable. Like I got two-shot like from any like which angle. Like this guy was like, you know, like Spider-Man style, just repelling here and there. And I just got absolutely bodied. And I was like, wait a minute. I can learn this. I can do that too. Like I can practice and get that good, which is kind of why I've like gotten really like, I don't know, I've gotten like a nice soft spot for like shotguns. Like it's very difficult for me to like use at the moment, but like there are moments when like I'll pop off with them and like I'll feel like, yeah, like getting there, right? And something about just like having like a nice deliberate aim where you take your time, you know, like the other person's kind of like firing wildly at you and like they're missing their shots because you're pretty close up to them. And then, you know, all you're doing is very carefully lining up, you know, 2 shots of the Peacekeeper. You let it charge up, choke, the thing where it charges and like the spread gets very narrow. You know, you just 2-3 seconds and then you just calmly take your time, right? I think there's something really cool about that. My favorite legend, Lifeline or Newcastle, or like I think my personality fits very well with Lifeline and Newcastle for obvious reasons. But yeah, so we were talking about just like playing Apex in our Discord calls and all that. And back then, like, it was still a little awkward because like it was still pretty like early on. We haven't really like met each other and like gotten to know each other that well. Hakka, good morning. Good to see you. Gavis supremacy. I could see you being a Gavi player. I can see that. So like it was pretty early on and like we didn't really have the time to like we like played a few games here and there, but like we never really got to like know each other. And then like a lot of the stuff leading up to debut was less spent bonding, I suppose, and more, well, we were bonding, but it was a shared bonding experience over just the stress, the worry, the just anticipation of debut. So like as the day got closer and closer, we started bonding not over just like our like friendship, but just over like, you know, like, oh my goodness, is debut gonna go well? Like I'm worried, like how are they gonna receive us? You know, what will their impressions be of us? So it was a lot of that. And I would have liked to spend more time, you know, getting to know the boys, you know, on a one-on-one basis. So I was, I don't know, unsure, I guess, a little bit worrisome about how our dynamic would go off. But I'm really glad that I think it worked out. I think it was really well received. I had a lot of fun. Just in the moment itself, I know bonding over trauma. In the moment itself, I was actually like very engaged and like into the game because like I was like trying to rack my brain about like, all right, how do I explain this? How do I get us on the same level? And the fact that Bettel, you know, was so descriptive and thorough in his explanations. Like, this is what he sees on his side. Like the fact that he would give me like so much amazing detail about like, it's not even just like the detail in the words, but like the way that he described things, right? He would constantly find new ways to describe the room he was in. And like, if one verb, like, or one noun didn't work out, he would like rotate it out to something, right? Exactly. When he says green, right? He said exactly what he needed to in that moment, where I noticed like, wait a minute, there'd be only one very like obvious reason why he would say green, right? And okay, so here's the thing though. When I was confused about the book colored thing, right? When he said the word when he said the phrase book colored, or when I asked him like, where are the chess pieces, right? And he says on the board, right? I think I may have, taken it a little bit too far myself. Like I expected and anticipated something even more complicated, but that's genuinely what he saw, right? When he said the book was book colored, right? I wanted to just double check because like in my mind, I was like, well, the covers of the book may indicate something, right? But no, for him, his point of view was, it was just, 10 pages, right? So that's when it took me a little while to realize like, wait a minute, it's not the colors of the book that actually matters, right? Because if it did, Bettel would have pointed that out. Like he's a very says what he sees type of person. Like whenever, like he calls it like he sees it, right? So when he sees a book and it says, well, it's book colored, right? Then you got to think to yourself, all right, why would Bettel say that? It's because he doesn't see the covers of the book. He sees the pages, right? So in a way, he's telling me exactly what I needed to know, except I was just trying to like overcomplicate things a little bit, right? And when Bettel said, the pieces are on the board, right? I should have thought, okay, well, if Bettel says the pieces are on the board, then I'm going to assume default starting position. Because if he would say, if the pieces were like, let's say scattered around the board, right? He would say, well, they're all over the place. Something like that, right? So I think like the fact that Bettel is just so accurate and so clear when he says, when he says things, it's not him trying to be confusing. It's not him being like not as perceptive. He really is just saying things as he sees it. And like, I should have been able to notice that halfway through the game and realize, wait a minute, Bettel is actually telling me exactly what I need to know when I need to know it. Right? The dogs part, okay, that one is a little bit of a drawback where on my end, dogs never showed up. There never was a thing. There were no pictures of dogs, right? But it was a very apparent thing that like stuck out to him. So it should have been more on me to clarify, like, hey, by the way, I don't have dogs on my side. Maybe it might be a red herring on your end, trying to confuse you. But I think it ended up helping him out a lot because he started to like talk about the maze in reference or in like relation to the dog painting. Yeah, the 90% Pomeranian comment was very, very specific. I'm not sure how that came about, but that was remarkably specific and it actually ended up working. I remember trying, like near the end, I went back and I like looked over the VOD and at the end, I remember trying to tell him like the cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, and then like tell him like, oh, in relation to your position here, to the south, there's a building here, or there's a right, to the east, there's a building there, right? And I looked at the VODs, and he didn't know what the cardinal directions were. Instead, he had just memorized it. In the span of like 5 minutes, just blindly walking through the maze, he had memorized the entire map. Like, that is impressive. Like, legit. Like, what? Are you? Like, no way. Radani, thank you so much for this super chat. Interesting game because it shows you the difference in the way people think and express their thoughts. Yeah. So like the fact that he would just so casually say like, yeah, by the way, like I don't know the cardinal directions, so I'm just gonna memorize the whole map. Like, and to think like for someone like Bettel, that spatial awareness, that spatial recognition is just, it comes to him so naturally that the easier option for him is to memorize the map. Like, that is so cool. That is really, really impressive. I love that, you know? His brain built different, yeah. And then just going over the last puzzle, I realized that, like, in the moment, I like out of context, in the moment, my comments and my, like, instructions to Bettel were very confusing. Because I was like under that timed pressure. I think that I got that one got me to sorry. I think the time pressure got to me a little more than I thought it would. So I like going back over the VOD, my instructions and my like explanations were not the best, but he was still able to like start to put things together and like understand like which lever does what based off the reactions I had, as opposed to him knowing which levers do what based off the instructions I said. You know? Jelly Beans, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, thank you. Koi Hayo, thank you for the stream yesterday. Wanted to say both you and Bettel inspired me to be more patient and always try to think outside of the box. Good day to you and the Koi Collective. Hopefully no bonk by Mana-san. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. And no bonk. It's night. Or not last night. Yeah. I don't know. Like, if you guys pay attention, that's the thing. Like, Bettel picked up on which levers moved which prop onto the stage after I reacted. It was a very subtle difference. It wasn't me telling, okay, Bettel, I need you to move lever or like switch, or I still don't know what it was because I haven't taken a look at his side of the VOD on that side, right? But it was like hey, can you move, that one? And then he would move it, and then after he moved it, I would react, oh, that's the castle, or oh, that's the people. And based off of my reaction, he mentally was able to start labeling the switches on his side, right? And like that's how I got it. Thank you for the super chat, Smug. Really appreciate it. Good morning to you too. I saw Bettel playing Superliminal. Yeah, the way that Bettel played Superliminal was interesting. I think. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I was a little bit disappointed. In that Bettel like just coasted through the horror part. Like he casually just zoomed through it. He like took like no worry, just like none of the fears, none of the jump scares like startled him. They didn't get it, like all the blood, the loud noises, nothing. Like just it unfazed him because he was so focused on trying to find the next puzzle and solving the next puzzle. Like it just did not like register to him. I was a little sad. I like this spooky horror part of Superliminal, and I just love seeing people's reaction to it. But no, like that guy, like horror was a second, like it took us a backseat to like I need to solve the puzzles. No, I Bunny, hello, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Just noticed the super chats are now available and to support you more. Thank you. But yeah, oh my goodness, I was hoping that there'd be a little bit more after watching the way that he played Phasmophobia, right? And just how startled he got. By the way, I find that it's really fun to see people play, how would I say this? Okay, for context, all right? I have my mouse set at a DPI of 1900, and then and the reason why I do that is because I want like as close to 1-to-1 for my like monitor for like 920 by 1080p, right? So I have my DPI at 1900, right? And then I kick my sensitivity down extremely low in FPS games, right? I think Bettel has it the other way around, where he has like DPI close to like 400 to 800 or so, but his sensitivity in the games are really high. But you can see him like his camera shaking like violently whenever he gets spooked and startled. So like I watched his Phasmophobia stream, and you can see just how like rapidly his camera just shakes every single time he gets spooked. Like for me, like if you see me get spooked out, like you'll see my mouse like wiggle around a little bit, but it's not too much because like I keep the sensitivity very, very low. Yeah, it does get dizzying sometimes. I don't like it too high because it ends up disorienting me. I think I used to be very good at like keeping a track, like a mental position, like positional, mentally orienting myself in terms of like a 3D position. You know, like if I spin in like 125 degrees, I'll kind of know like, all right, I know where I am, as opposed to like only keeping it to like 90 degrees and 180, right? Yeah, he does recover very quickly from jump scares too. I've noticed that. Which is why I play like a lot of games on very low sensitivities. And I think some of you guys may have noticed, especially during the chillest art horror games, because I keep my sensitivity low, I also try to keep my movements very like measured in a way. Unless there's something I need to like be actively keeping track of and like flipping around my camera, I'll try to like make sure that how do I say this? Like make sure to track things when I move around so it's not too dizzying or blurry. Does that make sense, Chad? Poemi, thank you so much for the super chat. A late congrats on debut and monetization. Have a great week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I might be able to show you in a few times. The screen shake for Bettel is the equivalent of dog shaking off water. I can see that. Yeah, I will try my best. I think for like for Slime Rancher, you know, like I'll try to keep. I'll do my best to keep the actually not just in Slime Rancher, but like in most FPS games, I'll try to keep the movement fairly low, fairly measured, so that it doesn't make it too difficult. I think the big thing right now that I worry is, for me personally, I really enjoy having a very, very broad and wide open field of view. I end up playing close to about 100 to 110 if I can have the option to do so. But I know that it does get a little bit disorienting, a little bit, it does contribute to motion sickness if the field of view is too large. So it's a little bit of a fine balancing act, I guess. Max point of view is the way. That's what I would do. Like, I love it because I want to see everything, right? And fishbowl. There's something about like my peripheral vision that is a lot more sensitive than my main focal center vision, if that makes sense. I think it's like a natural, like it's how your eyeballs work. I think like it's supposed to be that way. And the reason why I do that is because I keep the field of view as open as possible to take advantage of my peripheral vision, because I can detect movement more on the outside edges of my vision than I can on the center of the vision. If that makes sense. Like, does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I can detect a change in movement on the outside edges of my eyes than I can with the center of my vision, you know? I really do have fish vision. Maybe. I'm not sure. Shiny objects outside the center. I think that's the same thing. Like, whenever there's a change in like contrast, whenever there's a change in brightness, you know? Hello, model. Thank you for the super chat. So you're a T-Rex. Yes, if you stand in front of me, then you will go invisible. If you stand absolutely still, I don't register you in my vision. Peripheral vision is designed to detect motion. It's proven correct by science. Ooh, okay. Not too bad then. It's like what is it? Drax in oh gosh, was it a standalone Guardians of the Galaxy movie or was it one of the Avengers movies? I forget. I think it was a standalone. Where he's like munching, he's like, I have mastered the art of standing so perfectly still that I become invisible to the eye. Number 2, maybe one of those. I forget. It's been a long time. They kind of blurred together at this point. Hello, JV the Wanderer. Thank you so much for the super chat. Howdy Shins, game developer here, making a Tempest fan game. Want to pick your brain a bit as an archer or rodent. What would be your greatest strength RPG wise? Probably just a high accuracy rate. Just landing shots consistently over the long term. Maybe not so much damage, but like consistent damage application, I guess I would say. Ab Bunny? Potato? Hello, thank you for the super chat. I hope you feel better too. Sorry to hear about your fever. But yeah, oh my goodness. I think, I personally like off rolls in games, if that makes sense. Like, I personally like an off tank or an off healer, and something about like not like the stereotypical like okay, for example, like in Overwatch 2, I really like playing as Brigitte. Like something about an off, like a semi-squishy off tank whose job is just to peel for like your other like supports, but also does really good solid amount of healing on her own. I think it's like really great. She's really bad right now. Yeah, it's really difficult. You can't really play her the same way that you play Overwatch 1. Semi-squishy. Yeah, I say semi-squishy because her shield's like just enough to give you like a little bit of cover to like close gap on like your friendly supports to help heal. So like if you need to cross open space to get to like say an Ana who is like, you know, getting attacked by someone, right? You just use that to like shield yourself just briefly to, you know, cross the distance to get to Ana and then like save her and like help peel, you know, whoever is chasing her off. It's, I don't know, it's something about that's really nice. I enjoy the ability to do one thing or like to do multiple tasks, a bit more versatile than like a single, like, oh, you're a support, so all you do is heal. I really like that, you know? And okay, like to be completely fair, there are times when I like to just turn my head off, like turn my brain off, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna play Mercy. I'm just gonna play Mercy because I don't want to think. I'm just gonna float around, dance in the air, and then just heal here and there, and then just, you know, damage boost every now and then. But like when I really want to get like into the game, that's when I'll play like Brigitte, or maybe even, I don't know, Kiriko's good too, I suppose. The one that I'm trying to get really good at right now is what was his name? Oh my goodness. The dude with the invulnerability field. Oh gosh, why is his name escaping me at the moment? Baptiste, yes. Baptiste. I'm trying to get good with Baptiste. Okay, there's something really clutch. There's something really clutch about using like the invul field against like all the ults. Like especially when you know like, all right, like mid to late game and you're on the last point or the last push, right? You know they're all saving up their ults, right? Like you just know, right? So switching over to the Baptiste late game, I think there's like potential there. Like I think there's like meta there, right? And just knowing that you have the invul field up much faster than any one of them have their ults, I think is really cool. And like to be able to pull off that one little moment where, you know, the Hanzo ult, like a Grav ult and a Hanzo ult go through, and then you're just like casually dropping your invul field to the side, and then none of your people die. Like, oh, like I dream of that. I dream of that. Immortality feels not that OP anymore. Yeah, I think it dies pretty easily. It's like very squishy. I think like, in my experience, I've been killed very shortly after the invul field dies, just like from spraying and praying. I think like if you watching some of like the kill cams, right? Like a Soldier 76 will be like, I've got you in my sights, and then like just aiming in the general direction will kill the invuln field and me like right after it. Like it's like it just happens so quickly. It just dies and disappears so quickly. It's just a little bit sad, which I think is you know, I am not like that good at Overwatch, so in my experience, or like, you know, when I review those kill cams, I ask myself like, what could I have done better? You know, if my invuln field died that quickly, it's probably because I put it in a place where it was just too vulnerable, too exposed, right? Maybe I should have saved it for like around a corner, right? Or like in a hallway, somewhere where like I wouldn't like intentionally, like you would almost have to do like trig, you know, like your position, their position, and then the end position for the invuln field. You have to like do the calculus in your head to place it in a way where it can't get shot at, but the area of effect still like is able to save you and your friends. The immediate ew math. I think no, there's definitely like some kind of like trig involved, right? Maybe not necessarily like actual calculations, just once you get good at the like memorizing the angles of the map, it's a little bit easier. But I think it's my fault that I lose, you know? I'm pretty sure that like once I get better at like understanding those angles and just kind of knowing like, all right, I've seen this situation before, they're coming through this choke point, which means, you know, like ABC points are valid points for the invuln field placement, you know? Like once I kind of break it down into muscle memory like that, I think it's a lot easier to adjust it. But the calculus on the hunt, I still remember when his like arrows would bounce around and like all you needed to do was like shoot an arrow, the scatter arrow, like in the general direction of a corridor, and everything inside the corridor died. I still remember those days. Wolfram Alpha, like in the middle of the game, you're just like pouring in those calculations and but no, like I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun. What was I bringing up with this? Oh yeah, going back to the original point, I think like off rolls are really nice. So like this is taken from like Apex, right? But I like the idea of a bow and arrow, but a shotgun. Like scatter caps. Like imagine a close range archer, right? With, you know, with things like the light shield that I have, you know? Like you get to like, you play, instead of playing long range, right? Instead of playing long range, you play mid range, right? Hello, this guy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. So like, not necessarily a melee archer, right? But an archer that is like close to mid range. Like mid range would be the furthest extent, right? I think like that would be really cool, just to see like what would it be like to have an archer who mainly plays in close range quarter, like not close quarters, but just like like a little bit further than like halberd or spear or like javelin range, you know? Like if you think about it, like the longest range would be like a longbow, right? Like the furthest range, right? And then after that, it's like your regular bows and then like thrown objects. And then you have like poles, right? Somewhere between thrown and poles, right? I think like that'd be really cool. Quinn from League of Legends. Yeah, something like that. That's basically what, like something that more of like a ranged bruiser, you know, who's able to like adjust the battlefield and like maneuver around, but still like keep that distance so that you're not in melee range. Ramacha punching, something like that. Yeah. I think like that would be a pretty cool like distance. And like as an archer, I think like if you could put me in that position, I think that'd be really cool. Like I think have the stats to be very close Like I do have like the strength and like the constitution stats to like be in close range, so like I'm not too far away. Siora, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Yeah, like I think that'd be really cool. Not a tank archer, an off-tank archer that helps control the battlefield with like crowd control abilities, you know? Like abilities that like, you know, slow, stun, root enemies, keep them in like locked at a small distance, but is still able to, you know, help peel like some of the more squishier characters, you know? A debuffer, a ranged debuffer. Yeah. I think, oh gosh. I think there's a class like that in Etrian Odyssey who like, his only job is just to debuff enemies, and like, oh my goodness, it's been a while since I played Etrian Odyssey. I think like, oh goodness, like I think if I could get something like that, that'd be really cool. Hello, David. Thank you so much for the super chat. Curious to what kind of lore you're interested in? Honestly, any kind of lore. Any kind of lore, really. I think it just adds like a nice little bit of flavor to everything. You know what? Here, since we're talking about me, my stats, archers, and lore, let me tell you a little bit about Tempest lore, I suppose. Tempest lore. Since we're on the topic, it kind of like naturally lends itself to the thing. All right. Okay. So, I think some of you may have noticed. Let me shuffle over here, and I'm going to stand up. Some of you may have noticed that my arm out here is blue. And during the debut, I did make a little brief mention about, oh wait, I can like pat the wiggly. Oh, that's so cute. I can pat the wiggly. Oh. Okay. So, I know some of you guys have mentioned like why is Shinri's hand blue, right? So the reason why the hand is blue is this is a little bit awkward to say, but the reason why my hand is blue is because back in Xenokuni we have a test, we have an exam. We don't know where it came from. We don't know where they came from, to be clear. We're not sure what started the whole thing, but there was a moment, there was a catalyst that caused these creatures that referred to as corruption beasts to start coming out. And they would start attacking just, you know, people. And we needed to have people who fight against them. And we needed people to be able to defend Xenokuni against these invaders. We still don't know where they came from or what they are. We just know that they're pretty vicious and they're very dangerous. I know during the debut, you guys fought off a monster, but these corruption beasts are something different. They're a lot more than that, is what I can say. There is a test of sorts. There is an exit exam, if you will, just to put it, where soldiers and fighters and volunteers and just anyone who wants to help, you know, contribute to the effort to fight against these corruption beasts are really measured and tested to see, you know, if they really do have what it takes. And unfortunately for me, I failed that test. And that is why my hand is stained, I guess, with the failure. And this is why I ended up traveling around. I left the academy to go find out exactly what I had to offer, what skills, what strengths I had, and how I could really contribute to this. I really wanted to ponder what it meant to, you know, be in battle and really to fight. And it was actually during those, you know, one of those moments where I was thinking to myself and kind of trying to really figure out who I am in the grand scheme of things and how I can contribute to this, when I heard a ruckus going on. And that's when I met the scene, I guess, for the lack of a better word, the scene of Bettel and Flayon and Hakka doing whatever it was they're doing. But there you go, chat. That's why my hand is blue. It's something that I'm working to redeem myself on. Something to, correct. Because I know that that failure doesn't define me. Even if I stumble and fall, I can still get up and keep working. So, yeah, there you go. If you ever want to know why my hand is blue, there you go. That's it. But still, to this day, we don't know what those are. We're working with HQ boys, trying to learn as much as we can from Altair and Vesper and the other boys. Come see if we can compare our notes to what we saw back in Xenokuni and what they're seeing over there. With the research in the guild hall. So, thank you so much for all the super chats. I think I may have missed one. Let me scroll up real quick. That's the top. But thank you so much. Thank you. Jelly Beans, thank you for the super chat. Always picture your blue hand lore because you were busy spoiling the collective. And thank you, Hungry, for the super chat. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Alistair, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being a HoloStar and for being you. Aww. Thank you. I'll keep working harder. I'll keep improving. I know that it's a long journey. So, Blank, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. But yeah, General Froggy, thank you for the super chat. Only way to cure the scars to keep donating. No. Please make sure you're able to support yourself and look after yourself first. I really appreciate all the support that you've given me so far. Just want to make sure that you are able to take care of yourself. Don't put yourself, too far out there if you're not able to, or if you're not in a position to do so. Can you tell us more about what happened in Xenokuni? I mean, it was just like a nice village, nice city, nice, like, I don't know. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Your hands are but good hands now. Oh, thank you. Thank you, this guy, for the super chat. I don't know how to explain that. Like how like what happened in Xenokuni? Like, I guess it was like a city. It was like city things happened there. I'm not sure. Like people, like, I'm not sure like exactly what happened. Like people were walking around. Like we went to the stores. We went grocery shopping. We like hung out with friends. I get like the things that you would normally do in a city. I don't know, like it would be like asking you like, hey, like so what do you do in your hometown? And it's like, well, things like like hometown things. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you have maybe like a specific situation or like a specific question. I suppose I could probably answer that like more directly, but the city is city colored. Alter, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Rashid, thank you for the super chat. And Lin Yao, thank you for the super chat. The collectors are always around. I really appreciate it. We do see, yeah, like, I mean, if someone went to you and like, okay, what do you do? What do you do in your, like, in your city? It's just like, it's a city. Ado-chan, thank you for the super chat. Can't wait to see more of your journeys and adventures in the future. The collective will loyally swim along with you. Aw, thank you. Do you miss anything from the city? The street food. No hesitation on that. I miss the street food of Xenokuni. I miss it so much. If I had the chance to, I would go back. Like, right this moment and just bring all that street food with. I will tell you, zero hesitation. It has to be the street food. Absolutely the street food. Oh my gosh, I would love to share some of the pictures of the street food that I have of Xenokuni. I need to get those like checked and verified by like manager to see if I can share them. But like, oh my gosh, the street food of Xenokuni, I just can't. Like it's gonna be the thing, you know. Any recommendations? Okay, here's the thing. If you go to Xenokuni and you want to eat food, and I know because a lot of people will want to go straight for the sushi, right? My recommendation, go for omakase. Go for chef's choice. Don't pick, let the chef know that you just want omakase. Trust the chef. Trust in the chef and let them know what to make for you, and they will get you the most amazing thing ever. And the thing is, it will change because like they like the chefs there they like do their own shopping for their own ingredients. They know what's good. They know what's good. So when you ask them like, all right, well, I'm going to leave it to you. I'm going to trust you and let you decide. Like they will pick the good ones. They will pick such good food. Oh, it's so good. let them cook. Yes. Oh my god, how is that phrase like the defining phrase of us now? Like it's just everywhere we go. It's in Tempus. Just let him. okay, yeah. But no, it's 100%. Absolutely. Let him cook. Let them cook. Right? Oh my goodness, it just. Oh my goodness. My favorite sushi. I really can't. I can't decide. I think like there's something about like squid that is like really nice. I love the texture of squid. Bunny Hugger, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, and Mirage, thank you for the super chat. How big are the leaves? I've actually never seen the leaves before up close because the tree is actually really far away. It's big because, or you can see it because it's big, but I've actually never held the leaves before. Ramadi, thank you for the super chat. Oh, are we laggy? Oh no, is it buffering? Are we getting the bonk because of the hour? Manasan, no. That's unfortunate. Oh no, what's happening? Let me check. Okay, chat. If you can hear me, I would like you to just type in your favorite type of sushi. It can be very like basic, like salmon or tofu skin. Okay, I see it. There we go. Okay. I think we're back. Salmon, unagi, mackerel. We're back. Okay. I apologize, chat. I'm not sure what happened. There must have been a little bit of a hiccup there. Okay, here's the thing, chat. Here's the thing. Okay, I will never fault anyone for playing it safe. There's nothing about like I know there are some like sushi snobs out there, you know, who are like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna. I don't trust you to have good taste if you eat like just salmon nigiri, right? Like it's so basic and this and that, right? But like for me, I think it just means that you are willing to and open to try it, right? Like if you are willing to give it a shot, you know, then maybe there's an opportunity for you to expand your palate, right? And it's a classic for a reason. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I know some people who are a little bit of a snob and like, oh, if you don't have like XYZ thing, then it's. Oh no, are we lagging again? Oh gosh. Okay, so chat, on my end, it tells me everything is fine, and I don't see any like drops or frame drops on the screen. I think it may be YouTube. I think it may be a regional YouTube thing. That's unfortunate. It's fine for me. Yeah, it seems like there's a small section of people who are having some issues. Oh no. It may end up being a network thing, unfortunately. C-Gang is dead? No. I'm so sorry. I apologize, everyone. It's not something I can control on my end, unfortunately. I don't see anything on my side. You know what? Here. So, because we are approaching the hour, Gwenny Chico, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Really appreciate it. All right. Let me just type in a message in chat. We're going to go ahead and call it for today. We are approaching the hour, so we might as well just call it. We're going to call it for today. I'm sorry. Gang. Maybe we will have better connections tonight. All right. So chat, real quick announcement. We have a big old 8-man Tempest collab later. Sorry, I'm like typing and like speaking this out loud at the same time. And it'll take place at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. All right. So I think we're playing Pummel Party and have no idea how it's going to go. So it's going to be absolute chaos because it's going to be all 8 of us. I have no idea what we're going to do. I'm pretty sure we're going to have one point of view for HQ and one point of view for VG. And please keep an eye out on Twitter. Please check Twitter for updates. We'll have an update on whose channel will be streaming our point of view, but we'll be playing a full 8-man Tempest collab Pummel Party, so please keep your eye out for that. And I think that's like the big announcement we need to have. Mian, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. All right, everyone. We'll just go ahead and call it here today. I don't want to go too much into the Zatsudan when we have like a big chunk of our viewers having a difficult time connecting. So thank you for hanging out today and giving me some of your time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all later for the big collab together. Oyasumi, everyone. Oyasumi.